Hi everybody, it's Tasso. How good do you feel about your day? Generally, how fulfilled are you at the end of the day? How often do you find yourself doing the things that you wanted versus saying things like, same shit, different day? And you know, same shit, different day is not necessarily a bad thing. People look at the day and say, so what's today different than yesterday? But they look only at the activities, at the things that they did. But you see, in order to feel good, you need to have a sense of progress. You need to advance in something. And in order to advance in something, consistency is not a bad thing. So, same shit, different day is not really bad when you look at the things that you did. Same shit, different day is bad when you look at where you are. If you don't feel that you made any progress, that you learned something, that you feel further than you were in any of those activities that you wanted to do, you will feel miserable. You see, when you ask people how a typical day runs in their lives, most people will say, I get up, I dress up the kids to school, go to work, come back, kids, dinner, a little bit of relaxing time when the kids are in bed, and then sleep, and all over again. Doesn't sound that inspiring, does it? And when I realized that I'm in the same treadmill, I wanted to change something. And counterintuitively, I didn't think of eliminating something, because what could I possibly eliminate? You can't get rid of the kids, you can't get rid of the job. So I thought of adding stuff, because let's face it, the reality is that we don't really do a lot of things, but we just do those things that drain us and that suck out the energy. So it sounds sensible to actually add things that will counterbalance these negative stressy moments, and so they could re-energize and fuel you. So what did I do? Here's what I did. First step, I thought of those things that I felt were missing in my life. Okay, these were things like I wanted to have more me time. I wanted time to think. I'm an introvert. It might not seem like this, but I'm an introvert, and I need some time to sort my thoughts. I wanted to exercise more. I wanted to read more. I haven't read a book in years. I wanted to read more, and those were things that I did not think I should be doing. Those were the things that I wanted to do. Those were the things that I wanted to have in my life. I wanted those things to be those things that define me. So, as a next step then, I looked at the current life. Okay? So, how does my current day look like? And the current day looked no different than what I described before for most of people. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got the kids ready for school, dropped to school, work 9 to 5, then back, pick up the kids, or the kids were already there because the spouse picked up. Then the kids were to bed around 8 or 9, and then a little bit of relaxing time in front of TV or internet, and then off to sleep. So how could you possibly merge step 1 with step 2? From 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. at least, 9 p.m., the day is blocked. So if you look at this, the only flexible time that I could have is before 7 o'clock or after 9 p.m. So I left it there because I thought there's no way I can do anything before 7 a.m. and there's no way I can do anything after 9 p.m. I'm dead. When the kids are in bed, I don't feel like doing anything. The only energy I have is for some passive TV and some internet. That was how I was feeling. So I left it there and I did nothing for a long period of time. But then I thought, no, take it step by step. Take something small and do something that is really implementable. And so I didn't look at these, let's say, morning and evening. I looked what could I do in the day differently. And so, as I said to you before, one thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to read more. And so I scrutinized the day and I found those empty or idle slots that actually everybody has, which is the commute to work. And as much as I love reading a paper book, as much as I love, turning them around and smelling the paper, I think it was more important to actually get something read than just thinking about it. So I moved to audiobooks. And a lot of things changed since then. Because I chose to read or listen to the books that are about personal development and success and all these things. And these things were actually tackling the things I've been struggling with. Those books were actually giving me solutions to the problem that I had, the morning and the evening. And they were linking this to successful people, saying that the successful people not only manage their 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. differently, they also wake up earlier and they end their days differently. So still, of course, waking up before 7 a.m. was unpleasant as a thought, but at least I had something in hand. I at least had some recommendations that I could, as a starting point, things that I could do. So it's not even as difficult as you think it would be, because all these books recommended the same thing. So either one was copying from another, which is very, very probable, or those things actually really worked. So I was very intrigued to try those things out. And there were a couple of recommendations that I wanted now to share with you so that you get an idea of what these guys recommended. So number one was around beating your mind, getting ahead of your mind, your willpower, strengthening your willpower. And these were things like that when you wake up, you don't snooze, that you just wake up. Or exercise, because these are the things that you dread the most, or maybe a cold shower. These things where you demonstrate to your mind who's the boss. I made another blog post out of this. You might have seen this already. If not, please go back and have a look at that. That was quite an interesting thing. Another area was around silence and meditation. It was around giving yourself time to just be, to just listen to your thoughts, to not react to your thoughts. It's around resisting urgency, because when you sit in silence, and it could be meditating or just really sit silently there, thoughts will come into your mind, things that you feel you need to act upon, but resisting this will build as well, again, a sense of strength in you. So silence and meditation was another bucket that they were proposing, or in some cases, of course, a prayer if you are religious. Another area was around gratefulness. People very, very often stated that they found some time in their morning routines to just be grateful for the things that they have. And gratefulness here is not about, I'm happy that I have a car, I'm happy that the home's great, the area is great where I live. No, gratefulness is really those things that make you shiver, those things that give you goose skin when you think that you have them. It's a really nice exercise, and I can highly recommend that you do that. Think and write down optimally those things that you're grateful for. Another area that they said was around creativity, because often the mind in the morning is the most creative. So they wrote or they created something. And another area is around inspiration, to kick off the day on a positive thing. That could be that they watched inspirational videos on YouTube, or a TED Talk, or they even read something, an article which inspired them, not a news feed or something, but an article that inspired them. So those were the main areas around the morning. And in the evening it was a little lighter than that. It was clearly journaling, because everybody recommended that you have to capture your lessons, your learnings in order to improve for the next day. You need to make sure that you review the day, what went well, what didn't go well, that you understand how you reacted. So that was around journaling. Same thing around inspiration, because here the thinking is the way you end the day, the thought that you cover, that you carry over into your sleep is the first thought that you will have in the morning. You have to give your mind the time when it dreams even to work on those things, and it better works on good things than on bad things. And one thing that they recommended was also planning your day ahead of the next day. In fact, the planning is something that people do on a different stage. So either they do this in the evening to plan the day ahead, or they can do it also in the morning of the same day. And planning here does not only look into what are the things that I want to do, it also looks at the person you want to be. So if you have ambitions to be more understanding or to be more listening, these are the things that you can state to yourself every single morning or evening, so that you keep reminding yourself of these things that you wanted to do. If it is that you wanted to take the stairs, or if in the office, or if it is anything, remind yourself constantly of these things. This is what this does. And I mean, as much as I didn't know how this is going to work out for me, and how I would pick and choose, honestly, this gave me a sense of freedom. It gave me a great feeling of me being able to design the day. It gave me a great feeling of me being a creator, and I mean, as much of a common sense this is, most people don't take that advantage. They don't leverage the fact, they don't believe they can actually run their day according to what they want. And nothing is further from the truth. Of course they can. So since then, I've been experimenting a little bit here and there with my mornings and my evenings routine. I changed things, of course, and here's also my lesson to you. Give yourself some time with this. Be patient. You gotta be patient to actually identify those things that really matter to you. And when I mean really matter, I mean really, really matter. You will see whether exercise is really the thing that you wanted to have in your life, or whether writing or creativity is something that you want to do in the morning. It will give you that, and so you need to give yourself patience to identify those. There will be a time of trial and error, things that you add and drop off back. And also, you need to be patient with all the distractions and the disruptions, because you will be sick at some point of time and you will not be able to run the day. Your kids will wake up earlier at some point of time because they're sick or because they had a nightmare, and they will disrupt you, but that's okay. As long as you just stick to it. You stick to it because it will change you. It will give you so much more. It will give you a better understanding about yourself. See, it's not really that it will help you master your day. It will help you master yourself. The way in the morning, the way you set the tone, the music will sound. This is how it is. And you need absolutely something constant in this ever-changing world that will give you some anchoring in peace. And this a morning routine and an evening routine, something that runs again and again in the same way, will do that for you. So with this, I hope that I could give you some ideas how to better run your day, how to better feel about your day. I hope that I gave you some inspiration and some even tactics that you can pick and choose. If you want to hear more about this, you can either Google these things that I mentioned in terms of morning or evening routine, or please feel free to contact me. I'm very happy to give you some more details on all of these buckets that people recommend and that I also have experience with. I hope this was good. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe for more. And until the very next blog post, I wish you a wonderful day. Take care.